Hi, today we meet the very well-known Korean jazz singer Youn Sun Nah, and it's a pleasure to talk with her. I am Teresa Hoerl, a singer as well, and I'm very excited about the interview now. Let's go. 안녕하세요, Youn.
안녕하세요. Wow.
You are really welcome in Berlin. It's a pleasure to have this interview with you today.
I'm so happy to be here with you, and then thank you so much for saying hi in Korean. It's amazing. Oh. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right now, you are in the middle of your tour plan. At first, in the first half, you did a lot of concert in France, Belgium, I saw, and Norway, I think.
Yes.
And next week, you will have a little concert in Switzerland.
Yes.
And then, finally, here in Berlin, in the Berlin Philharmonic at the Kammermusiksaal. How do you feel?
I saw some picture of this amazing hall. I got so impressed, and then, yeah, I'm so happy and feel very honored actually to have the chance to play there.
You will start here your German tour in Berlin in April the 20th, and then concerts will follow in Baden-Baden, in the Festival House, or Munich, Prinzregententheater, and the very big Elbphilharmonic in Hamburg. So I have an idea strikes me. Your parents are both classical musicians. Your father conductor, your mother was an opera singer. Does the classical music influence you, your music, or do you like classical music?
Of course, I love classical music. I used to listen to a lot of classical music because of my parents, and I used to go to see their concerts, and it was a great experience for me. But the thing is, they made me discover another kind of music. My mother, for instance, she became, after classical singing, she wanted to become a comedy musical singer. So I listened to a lot of Broadway plays. And then my father, he is founder of National Choir in Korea, so he's conducting. So he developed a lot of different types of folk music from all over the world, and so I was exposed to a variety of music since my childhood. So I feel very lucky, and thanks to my parents. And then classical music, of course, it's a big part of my big interest. But now I can't say that I listen to this a lot for the moment. But I'm very sensitive to the voice, human voice. So I used to listen to a lot of classical choir songs composed by Handel, Brahms, and Bach, of course. Yeah, so I like choir music.
Okay. And of course, you start with musicals, so maybe it's a little bit the influence of your mother, I think, isn't it?
Absolutely, but at the same time, I saw her working so hard, so I didn't want to be a professional musician. So I studied literature at university and then worked for a fashion company. So I'd done things that had nothing to do with music, but music came to me very later, and then I had a chance to participate in the great play, the German play, Linie 1, and it was in Korean version. But at the same time, I could do it because they didn't ask me to dance or do theatrical stuff. My role was just singing and move a little bit. So to do that, I think you should be really trained. There are many people who do only this for their lives. So I feel, I don't know, more singer than actress. Yeah.
And Linie 1, it was well pronounced, I have to say. It's very important for Berlin too. Please tell us about your connection to Germany and to Berlin. Is it only the piece, Linie 1, or something else?
Linie 1, it was, my first love with Berlin. And now I've been working with a German label, Act Music, and this label is located in Berlin and Munich. So it's a long story for me. So for me, Berlin is it's a big part in my heart, actually. I feel so, I don't know, personally I feel so attached, to this city. I love this city.
What will the audience expect in the concerts with the title Jazz Nights?
Actually, I'm going to play with my musicians. 3 of them are from New York. And then now I'm playing with German jazz piano player. And I've known him since 20 years. We've met in Paris and we studied together. And then now he's joining me. So I'm very happy, actually, to play with him. And we're going to play most of the tunes will be composed from my last album, She Moves On, and then some other tunes in my previous albums. And what I really like to do during the concert, it's interpret differently from the original, the recording. And so I really like to surprise audience. So I don't know, it can happen anything. It's jazz, actually. We're improvising, and so I hope the audience will like it.
And on your new CD, you told She Moves On. It was released last year. We find songs by, for example, Jimi Hendrix or Paul Simon, to note some. How do you make your choice? Do you decide the artist or the song?
It can be both, actually. But for me, it's first impression is very important. When I listen to a music, when I see a concert of an artist, if I feel something directly, so I just want to try to do my own way. And yes, it's both ways.
And in a former interview, you said, most of all, I like the language of Germany. Why or how?
I think it's from my father. Actually, he in his repertoires there are many tunes in German language. So for me, it was so familiar. I couldn't understand anything, but it was so musical for me. The sound and the rhythmical things and the pronunciation. I don't know. I was mesmerized when I was a kid, so maybe it still stayed, So that's why. But unfortunately, I can't sing in German. I don't speak German. I'd love to, but it would take some time. But I really want to try.
And for me, a very personal question, because I'm a singer too. What kind of thoughts do you have before a concert, during, and after?
Before the show, I just try to make my head empty. Actually, I try to do not think a lot about what's going to happen. I try to concentrate on this moment, not after, not 2 minutes later or 30 minutes later.
Positive thoughts.
Positive, and then I pray a lot. God help me. And during the show, I don't think of anything. And after the show, I'm excited to see the audience. You know, every time I do the concert, after the concert, I try to meet them, and I just want to have a communication with them and
So the feedback is very important for you.
yeah, because I really hope that they could have not a great moment, but cozy moment, and if they had fun, I would, be really happy. So, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. And many artists say, okay, I live for the moment on stage. Yeah, that's my life. Then I feel glad. But after the concerts, so you have the time between the concerts. Do you like to do rehearsals? Do you like this work also, or the work in the studio, or do you say, no, I'm only feel good if I'm stay on stage?
Actually, of course, it depends on the people, but me and my musicians, we don't try to do a lot of rehearsals before the show. We just want to have our fresh ear and fresh mind. So, and as it will be different every night, we just want to, of course, before the recording and before the big tour, we try to have the rehearsals a little bit, but not too much, actually. So we just want to enjoy the moment actually on stage. So this is, as you said, this is the most important moment for me. And in the studio, as well, when I record an album, I try to do as if it was a live show. It's not a recording for me. It's so something alive is very important in music in general.
And you lived in Europe a long time, in Paris to be precise, and since more than 20 years you live there. I thought, okay, you told me a little bit, or sometimes also in Korea, but a long time in Paris too. But you grew up in Korea, and you are very connected with your country because your parents live there. And would you describe some big differences between Korean and the Europe lifestyle and understanding for music?
Actually, I don't feel a big difference. Of course, we have a strong culture, but in Europe it's same. So now we have internet, we can travel easier than before. So I think the lifestyle could be approximately same, because we can have German food in Korea, and in Germany I can have Korean food. So it's I think as we have a lot of exchange for the moment, it's nowadays I don't think that I feel a big difference.
I made the experience that Asian people love food. Yes. And it's very important for them. And you lived in French, and the French cuisine has always been regarded as the leading one. Yeah. Do you also love to eat and to cook maybe?
I like to eat, and I love French food, actually. It's for them it's an art of living, actually. It's so precious to me, but it's a long tradition for them, and I love French cheese, wine, and it's amazing. Every time I go somewhere in France, they have their own cheese and they have own wines. It changes every single village. It's so great. And then, but unfortunately, I don't have enough time to cook. So I like to eat then cook. But but I bought a lot of books of cooking in French cuisine. So maybe if I find the moment, maybe I'll try to do that.
Your favorite Korean food and your favorite German food?
My favorite Korean food is kimchi. It's like a fermented cabbage, and this is, I think I can't live without. Yeah, so anywhere I go, if I spend more than 1 month, I should have kimchi. So this is the best food for me. And in Germany, can I be? I love Wurst. Okay. Yeah, I love Wurst and sauerkraut as well. Sauerkraut has it's a kind of similarity with kimchi. Yeah, but it's not spicy here. But yeah, it's fermented one, and otherwise Wurst and beer.
And would you want to tell us what your next musical plans are? Do you plan a new CD after the concerts or more original songs, maybe?
Yeah, I'd love to do my album with just my compositions someday. But it's I'm trying to write some songs But the plans in the future, I never had plans in my life. You know, when I came to France, maybe I'm going to stay 3 years or something. But it became 4 and 5 and 6, almost 20 years. And when I record an album, I don't have any specific ideas before. It just comes up like that. And yeah, I like this term, the voyage, travel, and you don't know who you're gonna meet. You don't know what can happen on the road. So I'm gonna stay open, big open like that. So if something happens, I'll be very happy. And yeah, it's like jazz. I improvise. Do
you have the feeling that you have to find something totally new, or?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Something new, maybe next life, yeah. And for the moment, I'm really concentrating on my German tour. Yeah. So I don't think about the future. I don't know. 3 years later or some 4 years, 10 years later. So I just want to live this moment, 200%.
And so I think you will have wonderful concerts in the second half now, also 7 here in Germany. And I wish you wonderful concerts, and I will join in Berlin. And so good luck for all your future activities.
Thank you so much.
And I try 감사합니다.
Oh, 감사합니다. May I hug you? May I hug you? Oh, thank you. You're so lovely. Thank you so much.
Merci.
감사합니다. Vielen Dank.